Dan Bernstein Unfiltered. Unfiltered on 312 Sports.
I hope you're staying cool. It's hot out. It's hot. Happy Monday. Dan Bernstein Unfiltered on 312 Sports. And I give credit to the Bears, man, because when it's time to stage a photo op and, they leak it out and they get their preferred photographs in their apparent paper of choice right now. I don't know how many media outlets Kevin Warren still has on his little ledger of, places that believe what I say and places that don't. Well, I'm going to move this over here. Well, let's work over the Northwest Times of Indiana, because Saturday night, if you saw this real late, all of a sudden there's this story that pops up and it says Bears confirm new potential Indiana stadium site at Hammond's Wolf Lake Terminals. I thought, ooh, are they finally getting down to business here as the Bears are actually, is there going to be land that is somehow purchased by the state of Indiana for them where they would actually build a stadium that's viable? I'm waiting. Well, look at this. And then I'm reading and I'm looking, and all it is, it's pictures of what they're referring to as soil drilling equipment. Okay, I'll take you to your word. I don't know. I can't just look at a soil machine and know immediately whether or not it's actual soil drilling equipment. It just looks like some kind of random dystopian thing on a tank-like half-track. It says soil drilling equipment used to test potential construction sites was in place in Hammond near a location that could become the next Chicago Bears stadium. Okay. This is your tell here is the Bears they have an official spokesperson's quotes in this. They're like, oh, you better believe that's soil drilling equipment. We're drilling the shit out of that soil. We're drilling so much soil you wouldn't believe it. It's all drilling all the time. I don't think these machines are on, by the way. So a team spokesman confirmed late Saturday the machinery that was located by Times reporters. Sure. All of these heavily staffed newspapers filled with people who are constantly monitoring all these sites for the potential appearance of soil drilling machines. Yep, you bet. They're paying reporters overtime at the Northwest Times of Indiana of their massive newsroom full of people making sure they've staked it out 24/7. They've got reporters there all over the Hammond area on land owned by other people just in case they happen to see a machine that might be a soil drilling machine.
Soil drilling machine.
And the Bears and their spokesperson late on a Saturday is ready. No matter what they're sleeping with family, doesn't matter. We must get to the spokesperson who immediately knows exactly what to say about their potential sites. So, yes, they reached a Bears spokesperson late Saturday because these intrepid reporters, it's not like the Bears said, hey, there's some unidentified machines that are on the ground on this site. This is definitely not the Chicago Bears calling. You might want to go over there and check it out. We've included some pictures you can use in your story if you want. This isn't Kevin Warren. Bye. So the machinery that was located by Times reporters at the Wolf Lake Terminals west of Interstate 90 in Hammond was testing the ground for a potential stadium site. The site is currently home to logistics facilities, storage, and other private business uses. So here's the quote from Scott Hagel. This activity is part of the normal site evaluation process as we continue to advance our stadium development project in Hammond. We have an excellent option already in place. No, you don't. And continue to assess additional parcels of land in the Wolf Lake region to ensure we place the stadium and mixed-use district in the very best location to serve all of Chicagoland. All right, yeah, but see, this is still in a swamp in Hammond built on toxic waste. Just making sure here. Identical soil drilling equipment was seen in Hammond last December near Wolf Lake Park, north of Hammond's Robertsdale neighborhood. Okay.
Well, so the Bears are paying to have the machines brought out and then not do any work. That's all.
Interesting. I think this is fascinating because all it takes, again, every time they do this, all it takes a couple phone calls and a couple searches of public records, and you can find out, whoa, wait. So this new site is only 83 acres. That's not enough for anything.
Oh, that's perfect.
It's not big enough.
83.
And more importantly, as reported immediately, like they don't realize how quickly you can debunk these photo ops. Paris Schutz, who we've of NBC5, that there's at least one reporter out there. I hope there are multiple reporters who are actually out there trying to find out what's really happening. So what Paris Schutz said was, according to Indiana state and federal records, this is the same reporter who told you, by the way, that nobody's pulled a permit for the state of Indiana on any of this. Nobody's requested a permit. No one's requested a permit. He said, according to Indiana state and federal records, the north part of that site is federally protected from any development. The south part is owned by the U.S. Department of Defense. And in between are a bunch of private businesses, including oil tanks. So he says that the state, Indiana, would be looking at a massive eminent domain cost before even putting shovels in the ground on the site that literally touches the border of the city of Chicago. Yeah, this whole thing. Oh, how are the Bears going to actually have the land? Oh, Indiana, I'll just take it. Eminent domain. Okay, well, that costs millions, maybe hundreds of millions. Where are they going to find the money? Well, they just magic. They're just going to have it. Or they're going to tax us. Yes. Yeah, it's going to cost a lot of money. There just aren't enough ways to stitch together all this land where they're actually able to build. So if they were to connect this, and this is the belief here, is that you piece the plans together, a combination of Lost Marsh and the Wolf Lake Terminal, so that'll be enough for a stadium and a mega development. Here's the problem. You know what's in between those parcels of land? An interstate. So what are you going to do? You're going to have a stadium and McCaskey land, and there's going to be an interstate running. He's got an interstate running through his mixed-use residential, private, commercial, something district, and he thinks he's got it so good.
So it's separated by an interstate. So could you just do like a walkover bridge over a
flyover
over the interstate,
or a tunnel?
Just like walk over it.
Oh, just everybody's got to kind of like look and dodge.
No, you build a ramp so they can walk over. You're walking over the highway, the interstate.
Climb up and you come down. So you're at the Bears game. It's like, hey, let's go to McCaskey land. All right, well, we got to
walk across the highway
and go over that thing. Walk across the highway. Just you do it on your own. I think it should just
or you do like a Frogger option.
Mad dash. That's what I mean. I just think you should just go. And if you get hit by a semi, it happens.
Your next ticket's free.
Right. Yeah, you get a free hot dog or something if you get smashed to death by a semi. But I think this is what we're looking at here is the Bears saying, "Hey, man, there's some soil drilling equipment. You should go check that out." Our spokesperson is going to stay up. Is this Saturday night? Yeah, but our spokesperson just coincidentally, our spokesperson is going to be able to get back to you on your magic drilling machines that aren't really doing much. You don't own the land. There is land that you own, by the way. And now there's all kinds of increasing talk about the problems that the Bears are having with money. And this all comes down to this whole thing comes down to a lack of money and everything they're going through right now. That it may just be, and one of the outcomes being discussed here may just be they're going to find a place to put the stadium. They'll put the stadium there, and then the next owners will figure out McCaskey land because you're not going to be able to do it. You don't have the money. You don't have the land. You don't have the money. So we shall see. But I always want to keep you up to date on the latest. As Kevin Warren has led them there.
They don't have the money to build a stadium. They don't have the money to even contribute towards building a
they
stadium.
They might be able to get the stadium built on the cheap. That's the other point that I learned, is that no matter where they build, it's going to be the same cheap ass stadium. That they haven't commissioned firms to do different designs based on the land. It just, like, they know they hired, there were a couple firms that were bidding for it, and they got the one cookie cutter design, and that's just going to be stuck wherever they go. The building. Forget everything else, that the building is what it is. And they're ideally, when you build something, it's sort of like what we hear coaches talk about. Well, let me know I'll tell you my style of play once I know who my players are. And that's what a good coach does. Usually when you're constructing a football stadium, you figure out where it's going to be, and then you build something architecturally that looks like it fits, that brings out the best of the site and the land. That's what architecture is. That's what mindful architecture is. But in the Bears case, it's like, okay, we've got this Lego stadium, and wherever we can find the land, you own some land. There's land that you own. You put it there. Oh, no. We're forging ahead with putting it in the toxic swamp because we like our toxic swamp plan. Do you have the land? No. Does the state have the land? No. We have 2 parcels of land, and we don't own either of them, and we're not allowed to build on many parts of them, and it's probably not livable and healthy, and there's an interstate in the middle, but everything's fine. Now that's where we're going, into the refineries and into the toxic swamp built on human waste. And that's going to be the legacy of the McCaskey family. And some other Bears owner then can put a bunch of fast food restaurants or whatever they want around it. But every time they do this, all you got to do is look at what the law says you can do, where you're able to build. And once we look at regulatory records, what has to be disinfected, where there are wetlands, where there are federally protected areas, and you can all map it out.
Where the Department of Defense owns the land.
Yeah, but and Paris does this. He just goes in, Google Maps and circles things. It's just like somebody showing me a fishing spot. Hey, go here. Wind's blowing this way. It's like, they can't build here, can't build here. They don't own it.
I wonder in
2034,
when the Bears are opening their 63rd season at Soldier Field, I wonder who the quarterback will be.
I don't know. Somebody named Caleb.
Curious about.
Hey, somebody named Caleb. If we're done with Jalen's, it'll be somebody, whatever the next sports name is. But man, come on. Like, what are you doing? I want to mention that DBU is brought to you in partnership with the Chicago Window Guide, Russ Armstrong at chicagowindowguys.com, 847-302-9171, and by the Chicago Stars, making this a soccer-filled summer in Evanston. Come to a match for family-friendly pro sports on the lakefront. Get tickets at chicagostars.com/tickets. And it's... I love the fact that, of course, they just coincidentally in a Saturday evening, when you had your spokesman available to comment and you were able to say, hey, Northwest Times of Indiana, you got to do a report on these machines that happen to be out there. Okay. And what? And what? Who's supposed to act on this? Who's supposed to do anything? Is all of a sudden that everybody that you screwed over with all of the promises of good faith work toward everything that was building in the legislature at the last spring session, and it ended up exploding in your face like a comic cigar. And now it's you're still playing these games like, oh boy, oh no, we better snap into action because they're sure serious about Indiana. Oh, now we're under a lot of pressure. We better convene a special session. Come on, man. It rolls on. But it's the incredulous reporting too, where we still have people locally like, well, there was this spotted there and the Bears are. Do your damn jobs. At least we got one person doing the work here. Find out what's real. Find out what's not. That's your job. So just it really isn't all that hard to do. You make a couple phone calls, and then you can also find out who is on that land that's out there. Oh, quick update also. I've been following the ticket sales for Talking Football with Kevin Warren. If you weren't with us on Friday, I think this is really important. The July 16th on Thursday, Kevin Warren is going to be speaking at the Gorton Center in Lake Forest. It's an unforgettable night, they say. And he's stop laughing there, Maddie. Stop it. Come on. This is the august Chicago Bears organization that we're talking about. And you can discover how the Bears are evolving on and off the field, the changing landscape of the NFL. You can hear Kevin Warren discuss the business of professional football and the role sports play in shaping culture, community, and leadership in Chicago and beyond. So I went to see. So purchase. I'm going to purchase tickets here. There we go. July 16th, 1 hour, 30 minutes. The John and Nancy Hughes Theater. Let's click on tickets. And let's see, the whole front row is taken, but that is all for the special. No. Okay. So that area is blocked off. And then we've got in row C 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 tickets sold. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. We're up a ticket. We were at 13. And now we're up. Well, row Q blocked off as well. So again, you a student, $26.25 with fees. Non-student, anybody in the public, $51.45. You want to show up and hear Kevin Warren talk to you about all those things. And maybe you can ask him questions about what's going on. So that's our latest episode of the Chicago Bears Stadium soap opera as they try in vain to convince people that they are moving forward with their plans. Okay. All right. They still don't have enough money to do anything. All they can do is sell a controlling interest in the franchise when all is said and done. And that might be what ends up here is they plop down a run-of-the-mill, outdated stadium and say, that's it. We've accomplished it. We have found the swamp and we've put our place up here. Okay. Now what? I don't know. We're selling the team. Well done. Well handled. Something that it's been top of mind for me. And every time I think to myself and I say, this is something I want to talk about on the show. And then I think it through and I say, do you really want to talk about this? Because it could be a complete nightmare. And I think that's what I want to discuss. I'm just going to let you in fully, completely about the thoughts that I have every single time in the summer when when the NFL has gone dormant or mostly dormant. There's always something fun for us. There's always fun Bears things happening in the world. But the WNBA is, rolling through its season and with it, the stories about their stars and all the drama that happens. And every time I think about mentioning something, I decide not to. And the reason is because it's just a complete pain in my ass, considering everything that goes with talking anything WNBA. That ideally, it's good basketball and competitive basketball. And yet the strangeness with which this league has acted makes it almost impossible to have a normal conversation about this league right now, just about the basketball. And I'm not going to pretend that I watch WNBA games. I did at the outset when Caitlin Clark was starting because it was interesting and she was different and fun to watch. But it is, whatever word you want to use, impossible, frustrating, exhausting, headache-inducing, because there's nobody who runs that league who has taken control of a message, of a vision, of anything that can extract it from being a reductive culture war pinata with everything around Caitlin Clark and anybody else you want to drag into it. It's so heavy, and there's some things that clearly just are wrong and clearly don't make sense. The biggest star in your league shouldn't be punched in the throat and then take 3 days to have people say, is this okay? Is this supposed to be happening? Should this person be suspended? I don't know what's going on with the officiating. I don't know what's happening with whatever arm of the league is in charge of discipline, or whoever made up their mind that they were going to sell a $30 poster of 30 years of the WNBA celebrating the biggest stars in league history, and by far the highest Q rating star of your league ever, by a mile, ever, is not even on the poster. I don't get it. And any explanation of why that is leaves me with way more questions. And then I stop caring. Because after a while, like, well, there was this, and there was a history with this, and then these people say this, and there's bad faith actors who are using her as a Trojan horse for this argument and that argument. And at that point, I've walked away from the conversation because I don't give a shit. And if you want to have a league that seems to mean so many different things to so many different people and is allowing itself to be buffeted by these winds beyond its control, figure out what you want to be and tell the world what you are, what you stand for. And I get it that there are some huge WNBA fans to whom this all means a lot, whether it's individual teams or what the league has stood for over 30 years. And it's just, I keep getting back to this. It's just too bad. Maybe in another time, in another climate with less divisive leadership, we can have things that people are allowed to enjoy on their own terms. And if you can find that place, and I know there's some serious things here. I'm not trying to make light of this, and I'm not trying to be glib about it. I'm trying to just let you know how I feel as an outsider, kind of a fringe fan. Not really. I don't claim to be a fan. But I also understand the importance. I understand the importance culturally of something that has been a black queer space, and that has been a comfortable place for some people to feel accepted, to feel needed, to feel a part of something. Ideally, that's what sports should do. It should allow people to have these, at times tribalistic attachments that make us feel certain things and connect us to certain things. And they shouldn't be the sole backbone of one's identity, but I think properly understood and properly compartmentalized and in proper context, sports can be good things and make people feel better and bring people together and be good for families and all that. And I think that the WNBA has been that for a lot of people, but man, it takes such work intellectually to sort of find those spaces now, because in the discourse, I don't get it. I don't think you can run a league by holding your finger to the wind and saying, well, what do people think about this? What do people think about this? Are they mad? What do the worst people on earth think about this? What do shitheads think? Well, we got to do this. Why? Because that's what shitheads think. Why do you care what bad people think? Why do you care what bad faith actors think? You have to say these people aren't really all that important. And we're not going to allow our league, our competitors, our professionals, we're not going to allow them to be used like this, parasitically, as a host organism for some awful parasites that only want to divide, that only want to argue, that only want to make points that have nothing to do with basketball. It's exhausting. And it makes it nearly impossible to discuss. And look, you'll see it. You'll probably see it in the YouTube comments, just the fact that I brought it up anyway. And you get all the same reductive farmed bots that come out, and people that you can't distinguish from all the farmed bots that are everywhere now, all the AstroTurf reactions to everything. And I don't know. I know it's wrong that the most culturally important, a watershed player in your league is, you know what you're doing when you leave her off. Come on. Like, there isn't somebody who runs that league who, before that poster got published and made, there had to be a high-level decision to leave her off. It's not an accident. But they won't let you in anywhere. You've got individual teams that are just overwhelmed from a PR perspective. You have all the Michigas going on with the Sky here, and the owner that was scamming one of the other owners, and now that's in court, and everything that they've done, all the lying about when their practice facility is going to be ready, and all the misinformation there that's angered folks, and this poor Indiana Fever team that has no idea how to run anything around Caitlin Clark, that is just so out of their league and so overwhelmed that they can't make a right decision when it comes to what they say about their player and how that's handled. This league needs a summit meeting. This league needs their leadership to sit down. You need leadership of the old school that appears bitter and remembers, like, I spent 10 years playing in Russia and playing in wherever it was around the world to try to make my money. And you've got the built on the labor of Black women who haven't made as much money. And look, let's talk about it. Are you mad at Caitlin Clark? Are you mad at her fans? Who are you? Where's the anger? Why are people punching her in the throat? And I know she plays hard and she plays tough and on the edge of dirty too, but that's part of basketball. Is this physical basketball? Are you selling physical basketball? Are you selling the rivalries, or are you not? Are you manufacturing these things? People have to talk to each other and figure, how do you take care of your fans? How do you take care of people who need this space, for whom it's really important, and affirming to who they are and what they care about, and keep that. That stuff matters to people. It really does. Not all the culture war stuff, where it's social media driven, and it's bad faith. How do you separate the good faith from the bad faith? How do you separate your league, run your league? What's the vision for it? You got individual teams saying certain things. You got players saying certain things. And you have everybody filling in the gaps here because of a vacuum in the leadership. That's all. I know there's that over the summer, and as they get toward their playoffs, and if you say, well, why aren't you talking this? Because it's impossible. It's impossible. You can't. There's no real great way to do it. That's all. I've been wanting to say that for a while. I needed to, and there. I do think there's so many important things of that league, and there is the people who do care about the league really care about it, and business wise, with a lot of help and a lot of subsidization from the NBA, they've built this into something. Some teams stronger than others, some franchises better than others, obviously, but they've got something here. I just wish they would find a way to try to make it matter for better and not for worse, and not allow their league to be used in ways beyond their control that is more divisive than it is unifying, and it makes it an unpleasant experience when it shouldn't be. For some of us on the outside, somebody who could be a casual fan, somebody be like, okay, I really like watching Caitlin Clark play, but now you won't even acknowledge the fact that the league, I can't get over that. The league, it's one thing to not put her on the Olympic team. That's not your call. That's USA Basketball. But for the league itself, say, here's a poster that represents the 30 years of our existence, and not have the breakthrough player, the one who's forcing you to move games into football arenas, to move games in NBA arenas, like to actually affect the business of your league that you can't sell enough tickets because you have to keep printing more and creating more seats because so many people want to come out and see it. You won't put her likeness on a poster? Why? Why not? Why not? Why didn't you? I want to ask somebody that. Why is she not on there? She's got to earn her stripes. She got to this time. Got to be really. Well, why is that? Who says that? According to whom? Who represents that? Who's what forces? There's so much unsaid stuff where if you wade in from the outside, be like, hey, what's going on here? And then people start yelling and you're like, okay, I'm out. Forget it. Forget I asked. Because I don't want any of this. And it shouldn't be that way. If you need windows, you know who to call. Russ Armstrong. He's ready to make sure that all that cool air stays in your home. He can help keep it there because chances are your windows are older and the technology with windows gets better all the time. And you think, oh, I didn't know they made that much of a difference. I didn't either. Truth be told, I did not either until we really completed what we've been doing with Chicago window guys. They came out and did another tranche of windows, these same good low emissivity windows. And even, Russ is like, hey, the spacer in the window really matters. See your old windows here, how rusted that is. Well, then the seal is going to blow and it's basically like having no window because it's not doing its job. And he said, in these new good windows, the spacer contracts and expands so it doesn't rust. And that way the window's always operating at max efficiency. More than I've ever known about windows. All I know is the air conditioning doesn't turn on as often when it's hot. And the heat doesn't turn on as often when it's cold. That's because the windows are doing their job. So wait till you see the difference that makes in the numbers every month. You know what I'm talking about. So call Russ. Here's some numbers, 847-302-9171. And check out his 5-star reviews at ChicagoWindowGuys.com. When you're getting quotes from other places, go ahead and get quotes. Russ understands how this works. But ask those other places after they're teasing you with other buy one, get one frees and all the silly stuff. Ask them who's installing the windows. They won't know. It's nice to have peace of mind when Russ's crew is out there doing it. And they want to just make sure that everything is clean, everything is done correctly. And Russ is texting you to make sure, are they there? Are they there? They'll be there in 10 minutes. Is everything clean? Are they done? You want that kind of attention? Call Russ, 847-302-9171. Check out the 5-star reviews at ChicagoWindowGuys.com. Man, it is so much fun to be in a city with a couple of decent baseball teams. I forgot really what it was like. And it's been a while since I've been sort of steeped in hardcore Soxness. And I got a reminder of it yesterday. Jason and I we had the annual golf outing for his high school baseball program. Jones College Prep does their little fundraiser every year for the program. And we had a really good day. They basically give us the entirety of Lincoln Oaks Golf Club in Crete. And we have the place for the whole afternoon and play the scramble and give out all the little awards and stuff. But boy, you can tell the people who are following the Sox game and following the Cubs game and some of the reactions. And then, we all get back there, boy. I said, hey, oh my God, Jordan Wicks he just induced a double play. The Cubs won. And the guy's like, don't ruin my day. A Sox fan who doesn't like usually you don't hear it reciprocated like that, but there's some hardcore folks here. They're and the excitement. This is Southside. This is Southside and a lot of old Southside. There's some serious Bridgeport vibes, and there's so much excitement over the Sox, and especially I was talking with baseball people there because it's all baseball folks that I'm around, and the guy we were talking about last week, Sammy Antonacci, a lot of fans, a lot of big fans. I just was interested in following, and it just the rule, careful in this city. We're getting down to those TV questions in bars. And, I don't hang out in bars like I used to when I was younger, but this is what I'm wondering. And I just want to keep an eye on this because I was thinking about it. If you are somebody who's out a lot, how they manage, is it like the TV with the sound or the TV that doesn't have the sound? Is it and I'm not talking in Wrigleyville or at, Halstead and 35th, but in the in-betweens. Know your clientele, know your crowd, and people like, okay, well, we got the Sox game over there, we got the Cubs game over here. That's fun for Chicago, and it's been a while. It's a cool thing, not just when the two teams meet, but when you care about both of the scores. And White Sox has got to hang in there, keep doing what they're doing. I hope they've got enough pitching that this thing's going to hold up, but they especially at home, and now they're hitting the road too. They've been a very different team on the road, but I got to get to a Sox game soon. That's what it comes down to. I got to get to a game because the energy there, the vibe in that park seems like it's just about right. And I'm losing my favorite Sox games, or empty stadiums and no lines, and the bathroom to myself and all the food to myself and wandering around. And those are some of my best memories, but this is a little different. And now, if you have any White Sox friends that are daring to complain or even get close to complaining about what a ticket costs, I've had a couple of moments where people are on their phone like, God, like, what are you doing? I'm at StubHub they're looking for Sox tickets. Like, that one's $47 now. That was $6. They were losing 100 games. Don't you dare complain that tickets to go see your favorite team cost more because they're shockingly good, because their rebuild has accelerated way faster than you thought and that they thought, and now they're calling people up, and there's always somebody there you want to see, and there's always somebody new and different, and they're playing an exciting brand of baseball, especially at home. They're never out of any game, and you'd be like, oh geez, look, I'm paying for tickets now. Yeah, that's what happens. And you know what it is? That's awesome, and you should absolutely celebrate that. You should. Now, if you do want an inexpensive ticket for a terrific day of sports in a fabulous new stadium, what you should do is check out Chicago Stars. Chicago Stars FC plays at Martin Stadium in Evanston. And on July 5th, they are returning there to take on Utah Royals FC. The Chicago Stars are celebrating a summer of soccer on the north side. You don't want to miss it. That stadium is easy to get to because you can use CTA, Metra, bike, car, whatever you want, right on the shores of Lake Michigan. Tickets start at $19. It is professional women's soccer, the most accessible that it's ever been here. You can come to a match. They have family-friendly pre-match entertainment and all kinds of stuff that's going on, a kids zone, yard games, the mini pitch, young kids, young soccer players, seeing their role models up close, big names, U.S. Olympians, Mallory Swanson, Alyssa Nair playing right on the lakefront in Evanston. Summer soccer doesn't get better than this. So get tickets now, especially for that July 5th game, at chicagostars.com/tickets. Happy 100th birthday, Mel Brooks. So by my math, his famous character, the 2,000-year-old man, he's 1/20th of the way there. He has to live 19 more centuries before he actually becomes 2,000 years old, like that fabulous character. And when I say I was raised on some of that stuff, I'm close to actually meaning that literally. Like that, those albums have been a part of my life. They've been on that same rack since before I was born. And just to see him still not just in good spirits, but of fully sound mind. If you saw the documentary that was lovingly done by Judd Apatow, but unsparingly, unflinchingly, I think it was both. And we discussed it here in this space, but I found the documentary to be fascinating. I did read his memoir, All About Me, and I actually went back to it last night. It was so I could because to celebrate his birthday, several of the movie channels have been running various Mel Brooks marathons, and at just the right time last night, I made like 3 pounds of chicken wings and my awesome like double baked smashed potatoes thing, and I set everything up, and I was watching soccer, and then the soccer game ended, and flip, boom, just at the start of Young Frankenstein. So I'm in heaven. I also have a ranch dressing update. Quick aside. Wishbone has come out with a new ranch. It's called Buttermilk Ranch. And you think, well, isn't all ranch Buttermilk Ranch? Well, Wishbone is now it's a subversion of their regular ranch where they've doubled the buttermilk. I'm out. I like their regular ranch better. This one is not quite creamy enough, a little too acidic. Believe it or not, a little too much buttermilk. I was very excited for it. It was a big deal for me to change my routine. Even Beth said something because she saw I was getting my chicken wing mise en place together for the process of making my wings. And she said, "That's not your regular ranch." And I said, "That's very observant of you. You are right." I said, "Now let me tell you exactly what my thought process here about this ranch." And she said, "No, I'm going to go upstairs." She was not interested. I had a whole explanation for the risk I was taking in trying a new ranch dressing. And she's like, "Yeah, not really all that interested right now."
You didn't think she would be interested, did you?
But I got to tell somebody.
Okay.
So I'm telling you, save
it for here.
That's why I said, you know what? Damn it. Honey, you may not want to listen to it, but I'm going to explain. So all I will say is it might be a taste for you, might be worth trying. My particular review of Wishbone Double Buttermilk is not for me. So I'm still open, of course, to trying new things.
But how about make your own sometime for me?
I know you keep saying
Just do it one time. Just try it one time. It's not hard.
I know it's not. I just haven't in the past. It's a little intimidating to me.
It's really not, buddy. It's super easy. With your cooking skill, you could whip it up pretty quickly.
I got a better idea.
What's that?
You make something for me.
Done. All right. I will do that for you. That's fine. I will do that.
See, that's what I like better. And fine. Maybe because there's already Matt's Cookies, right?
Yep.
Famous local Matt's Cookies. Maybe we could do Matt's Ranch or Maddie's Ranch or something like that.
I'll bring you a jar of ranch.
That's all I need. We'll give that a shot and we'll see. So I'm making the wings. I sit down. Young Frankenstein is on, and I'm watching it. And because I've read so much about it, that I always see a lot of these old Mel Brooks movies through new eyes because everything I learned. But then I wanted to confirm too, because when Cloris Leachman shows up and they say Frau Blucher, that's her name, Frau Blucher, and then the horses go. Aah! And what had been said for a long time was that they do that because Blucher is the German word for glue. It's not true. And Mel Brooks has addressed that before. The horse is whinny only because she's intimidating and evil, menacing and sinister. That's what it's supposed to be. It's like there's something so scary about her that even the horses know. That's the bit. And apparently there was a Prussian general whose last name was Blucher that Mel Brooks just found funny. And that's all. I know everybody wants another explanation of that, but that's all. I do love the fact, though, that movie was filmed using, in large part, the same sets and some of the same props that James Whale used to film the original Frankenstein. That they found some of the same, actually. That's why it is so note perfect as a send up of the original Frankenstein. And I didn't understand it until I watched the original Frankenstein when I was in 8th grade. And I'd already seen Young Frankenstein, I don't know, 4 or 5 times at that point. And it's an important movie to me because the re-release of that in 74, when I want to say I was 10, maybe 11, when the re-release came out in theaters, maybe 10. I think it was 10. That's when I knew I was straight. Was that the Terry Garr, when Inga shows up? Would you like a roll in the hay? Roll in the hay. And something was interesting to me in a way it hadn't been interesting to me before. And I thought, okay. So that's that movie, and Terry Garr in that movie will always have a very special place. So that was it was happy birthday, Mel Brooks. Happy 100. What a wonderful, wonderful human being. And if you've seen the documentary, it's a little sad to live that long. It's a little sad. A lot of his people in his life have died. You know, yeah, you start to outlive everybody. But the one thing about him is he hasn't stopped making new friends. And he just never stopped. And you learn about also what he did in World War II, what he did fighting, and what his job was in France, trying to undo booby traps and landmines, and how while he would walk around singing silly songs the whole time while he was defusing booby traps, and it's pretty incredible, pretty amazing stuff, and just a really, really significant, important American who has turned 100. And while we're discussing important Americans and important things, I didn't really follow. What are we calling it? The 250th Great American State Fair.
Yeah, that sounds correct.
The Great American
State Fair. Yep.
In Washington on the mall.
Mm-hmm.
Now, there's one video I saw that it showed a band, and the band was playing their all-American music, and a woman is singing, and they're jamming, and they're showing the stage, and it looks big. And then on the video that I saw, the camera slowly zooms in on the reflective sunglasses being worn by either the guitarist or the bass player.
Oh, yeah, I saw this video.
Yeah. And that reflection did not lie. They were playing in front of nobody because no one's there. Nobody seems to be there. I saw that Fox News put a big desk there. Here we are live at the Great American State Fair. And no one's there. But somebody's there. Somebody showed up. There is a guy who showed up dressed as Uncle Sam. He's got the big stovepipe American flag hat on. He's got American flag bib overalls with a big old eagle on it. And apparently his name is Manny. His actual name is John Ractelli, or Ractelli. So Gian, John Ractelli. He's there dressed as Uncle Sam. And he was arrested, charged with lewd, indecent, or obscene acts after 3 separate witnesses told police they observed what appeared to be a sexual act while watching a troupe of female circus performers. So he showed up, at least. He knew what he wanted. And so Manny is how he's known. He's an influencer. I don't know what he influences. Maybe now other people in jail. But his recent live stream was cut off when police officers were approaching him. And everybody on various social media want him freed, believing he's being detained wrongfully, that he's not guilty. Apparently, the witness said that the man was vaping and filming the female performers and placing his hand inside his pants with what witnesses believed was a sexual act in front of the Cirque Mechanics acrobatic show. Another told police they returned for the second show. I saw him with his hand in his pants, likely doing what we all thought he was doing. So I guess this is what this is all about. The Great American State Fair. You show up in a funny costume and yank your crank, I guess. Okay. I didn't know that was the plan, but there you can read the whole police report. The performers themselves said something. A third witness said they were approached by a female member of the acrobat team who noticed an older white male that was making her uncomfortable and making other female performers uncomfortable. They noticed him making lewd gestures in his pants. So this is the Daily Beast has reached out to John Ractelli for comment, and DC activist Breon Chapman, who goes by the moniker Anarchy Princess, posted that the man was wearing an Uncle Sam costume. Supporters have rallied behind the man. How does somebody like this have supporters?
Yeah, why do you want to?
Yeah, it appears to be an attempt to destroy his reputation. His reputation as what? A guy who dresses as Uncle Sam and doesn't masturbate in public?
Yeah.
Was that his bit? Well, wait a second. My reputation is I dress as Uncle Sam and I don't masturbate in public. You're ruining my reputation. What? Okay.
Did you see the picture that Caroline Levitt posted?
I didn't. Is she with Manny?
Well, she's not. She's with her child, but posted the picture of it, and it's a nice picture of mom and child, but everyone notices in the background it's completely empty. I mean, there's literally no one there.
Right. Except Manny.
Yeah. Manny and the acrobats that somehow got forced to perform.
Yeah, the acrobats are performing and Manny's performing on himself. Dressed as Uncle Sam. Uncle Sam wants you to play with my wiener. I say we send him to Mike Vrabel's wiener counselor. That's what I think. I think if you found a good counselor, they can handle all of it. Well, he's handling it too much, but that's about perfect. So we finally found somebody who was there. He was there, but he couldn't really understand how to properly enjoy himself while there, and then he needed to be forcibly removed by police and possibly thrown in jail, which is fine. So I just a note. I just wanted to note that.
I mean, he can do that in jail all he wants.
I don't think so.
Sure, you can.
Well, I mean, is he sharing a cell with somebody?
Well, I don't know, but even if you were, couldn't you just?
I guess if you want to. I don't think you can dress like Uncle Sam in jail.
Probably not. No,
I don't think so. But that's quite a. What are you going to do today, honey? You going to work? Yep, I am. Your Uncle Sam costume's over here. What are you going to do today? Oh, let's see. It's Wednesday. I think that's when I go to Washington and I walk around in public and touch myself. Okay, have a good day. I made a lunch for you. See you at 6.
Yeah, I wonder if the masturbating Uncle Sam has one of the new passports as well.
Oh, what is it? What
it
is
says? It says welcome.
Be good,
but be good.
That's not what passports are.
No, he doesn't quite get how they work, which is
passports aren't used to welcome non-citizens. They're given to your own citizens so they can go to other countries.
Right.
It's not welcome. You're not welcoming anybody when you give a you're already here. That's how you get the passport.
He just doesn't quite get it how they work, and yet there's no one there that can say, "Hey, this isn't how this works." But it's okay.
Maybe the masturbating Uncle Sam could tell him.
Yes. Hey, that might be a new Halloween costume.
It might be a new cabinet position. It could be both. I don't know. That will do it for Dan Bernstein Unfiltered on this Monday. Brought to you in partnership by Chicago Window Guys, 847-302-9171, and by the Chicago Stars, making this a soccer-filled summer in Evanston. Come to a match for family-friendly pro sports on the lakefront. Get tickets at chicagostars.com/tickets.
Dan Bernstein Unfiltered on 312 Sports.